Let's now discuss the US presidential race. As America inches closer to the day of voting, climate change is increasingly becoming a hot topic. There are colossal wildfires raging through California, Oregon, and the state of Washington. They're turning the heat on the presidential campaigns. Both Joe Biden and Donald Trump have laid out their vision to tackle this natural disaster, but the contrast between the two couldn't have been more stark. And before I tell you how, let me share some quick facts with you. 4.5 million acres of land has been burnt since August. 6,200 homes and structures have been destroyed. 3 million more homes are at the risk of being ravaged. 36 lives have been lost. Some 64,000 people have been forced to evacuate. The air quality has worsened. The skies have taken eerie tones of orange and sepia. It is a crisis of epic proportions. How are the presidential candidates responding? What promises are they making? I'll start with the man in charge right now, Donald Trump. He has never really been a believer in climate change. He's called it a hoax. But the scale of this natural disaster, has Donald Trump concerned this time, perhaps, or the election has? Either way, he landed in California for a briefing about the wildfires. Present at the briefing were officials from different political backgrounds, including Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, and Wade Crowfoot, the secretary of California Natural Resources Agency. These two men tried cornering Trump over climate change. They urged him to understand the science behind wildfires. How did the president react? Well, you have to watch it to believe it.
If we ignore that science and sort of put our head in the sand and think it's all about vegetation management, we're not going to succeed together protecting Californians.
Okay. It'll start getting cooler. You just watch.
I wish science agreed with you.
Hey, well, I don't think science knows.
I don't think science knows, he says. This is the same president who said the Wuhan virus will disappear when the months get hotter. He's now hopeful that the fires will disappear when things start getting cooler. Somewhere between these hot and cool promises, logic has turned into stone and is dying a painful death. What about Trump's challenger, the gaffe-prone Joe Biden? What does he make of these wildfires? Well, he thinks Donald Trump is the one setting them. Speaking in Delaware, Biden called Trump a climate arsonist. Let's listen to his logic as well.
If you give a climate arsonist 4 more years in the White House, why would anyone be surprised if we have more America ablaze? If you give a climate denier 4 more years in the White House, why would anyone be surprised when more of America is underwater? We need a president who respects science, who understands that the damage from climate change is already here. And unless we take urgent action, it will soon be more catastrophic.
We need a president who respects science, said Joe Biden. Too bad the bugs in Delaware did not seem to agree. They kept disturbing Biden's speech. They sometimes landed on his shoulder and sometimes on his face. Biden passed it off as an omen.
The brunt falls disproportionately on communities of color, exacerbating the need for environmental justice. Sorry, as a bug. Speaking of the environment.
Speaking of bugs, according to a security researcher at App Analyst, a privacy bug in Joe Biden's campaign app may have exposed the personal information of millions of Americans. Allow me to explain how. A feature in the Vote Joe app allows users to sync their contacts with the app to see if their friends and family have also registered to vote. So when it finds a match, this app displays the person's name, age, date of birth, and a list of recent elections they voted in. And this is where the problem lies. This particular feature can provide a person's information by simply creating a contact with a person's full name, irrespective of their phone number or email ID. The Democratic Party says this bug has been fixed, but questions are being raised on whether this bug was intentionally placed. The controversy is expected to get bigger. Which brings us back to the Trump campaign. They're also struggling with their controversies. The latest one is gaining mileage through a hashtag #PedoTrump. It's been trending in America. It was first used by MidasTouch.com, a left-wing political organization. It put out a video along with this hashtag. What was in this video? A compilation of brief snippets from Trump's relationship with convicted pedophile billionaire Jeffrey Epstein. It included Trump's statements on the man himself, how he was a lot of fun to be with, and how he liked beautiful women on the younger side. There were also remarks that Trump made about his daughters, Tiffany and Ivanka. The video has gone viral. It has received more than 2 million views. Take a look.
Prince Andrew answering questions for the first time about his friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't know Prince Andrew, but it's a tough story.
Trump has been photographed with Prince Andrew as far back as the year 2000.
Ghislaine Maxwell is accused of helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls.
I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well.
You know about sexual predators and things like that. I mean,
You are one.
All right, I was going to say that. But,
So here's the bottom line. Joe Biden and Donald Trump, they've both been accused of indecent behavior towards women. Presidential character has become a key factor in this election. And the women of America, the men too, have a tough choice to make.